For 3 seasons now, Dance Team Union has flown me out to their nationals event so I could experience the energy, see the competition, and really just see the growth that is going on over at DTU. And today I'm very excited because I just get to talk about it. I get to just sit down and we're going to talk about my experience from my horrible flight that I had on the way to Orlando, some of the music issues that were actually going on at competition. We're going to talk about my merch. Hello, we're going to talk about the merch. But most importantly, I really want to talk about what dictates a prestige competition. And is it true that DTU is less competitive? Hi, my name is Kyle Rush, and you are watching the No Counts Given podcast.
Rebel Athletics dance costumes are designed for performance and crafted for confidence. From your warm-up to your final pose, every move feels better in Rebel level quality. These costumes are built to move with your dancers, with premium fabrics and show-stopping embellishments that let your team shine no matter what the stage looks like. And with endless customization options, you can work with Rebel's team of real fashion designers to create a look that's completely your own. Whether it's a smart value style starting under $200 or a one-of-a-kind supernova crystal design that outshines the competition, finish off your look with the only dance puff palms in North America, in stock in 10 vibrant colors. Also available with hands-free straps. The Rebel Puff Palms give your dancers a winning combo that's perfect for show-stopping routines. Rebel Athletics takes you from head to toe with everything your team needs. Costumes, warm-ups, practice wear, palms, accessories, and more. All customized with your team's colors and logo. Each dancer's items arrive individually packaged and labeled, so there's no sorting to do, making distribution fast, easy, and stress-free. Why fit in when you were born to rebel against the ordinary? Visit rebelathleticdance.com to explore our dance lookbooks and get started on your best season yet. Rebel Athletic, built for champions, designed for you.
Okay, but first, before we actually get started, I need to talk about the elephant in the room. Okay. I clearly have a partnership, and this podcast is powered by Dance Team Union. So, with that being said, I feel like there might be some bias that goes on in this video. Bias, as if you've been watching me and my content for the past couple of years and think I have any bias. But, anywho, but I want to make it very clear for a second. A year ago, in the month of February 2025, this is when the partnership with myself and DTU really began. I'm like at my year anniversary with DTU. But in all of the plans for No Counts Given, I made it very, very, very apparent that I do not want to be scripted. I want to be able to share my own opinion and my own beliefs and my own thoughts. I cannot push the industry forward if I'm continuously being scripted on what I need to say, what I need to hit. And that has stayed true a year later into the podcast. So with that being said, actually, to make it very clear, before I even filmed this episode, I had zero conversations with any of the partners or anyone that I really talked to at DTU. So this is going to be fun. So yeah, go ahead and say that this is a DTU puff piece if you would like. However, that is not the case. And let's just get on with the experience. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is my horrible flight to Orlando. Okay, it was quite the flight. I flew out of LAX, which is an easy airport, by the way. Like the amount of terminals that LAX has, the worst thing that you could run into is traffic trying to get to the terminal. However, I was leaving at like 6 a.m. Usually how I plan my like 6 a.m. flights, if I'm flying all day, is that I pull an all-nighter. I'm up all night until I get to my seat, and then I am out like a light. Okay, I am out for the flight. I will actually um I'm pretty I'm I'm pretty good at like falling asleep before the flight even takes off and waking up like as we're exiting the plane. Like I've become pretty notorious at that. However, okay, pulled my all-nighter, successful. Okay, got to my flight right on time, got to my seat right on time. I'm boarding group one, so I get to get in early, put my bags up. Actually, I didn't even have a carry-on. Both of my bags for check-in, and got to my seat. I took a melatonin, and I'm like, I'm ready to go. Okay, so I go back, close my eyes. Nope. The next thing I know, I maybe was able to sleep for 20 minutes, and then the next thing I know is that there's a family right behind me. Okay. Now this is a six seater right here. Okay. A, B, C, D, E, F. You have mom on the side. Okay, mom on the furthest side, child, child. Okay, then child, child, dad. Right behind me is the youngest one possible. Maybe like, I don't know, 3 years old. I don't know. Okay. Um, Kicking my seat. Now, if you know Spirit Flights, little the tray in front of you, when it goes down, if you push it hard enough, it like ricochets. It's like and kept doing that. This was the entire flight. I think in total I got maybe 20 minutes of sleep from my flight to LAX to the layover I had, which I don't even remember where that was. My second flight from the layover to Orlando was beautiful, even though it was only an hour long. I got to point A, point B, no issues. I got to sleep. It was amazing. I didn't get to my hotel room until like 10 p.m. I was out. I was out. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So yeah, that was my horrible flight experience. Even the people sitting next to me, it was homegirl and homegirl sitting next to me, and they were over it. We kept looking at each other like, is this really going on? Even the people across from my lane or the aisle or whatever, they were looking at me like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine." Anyways, okay, that was my horrible flight experience. Let's move on. So I got to Orlando Tuesday night, and then Wednesday was kind of like the preparation day, trying to see where we're gonna film everything, the content we're going to make, help out wherever I can. So Wednesday was kind of like nothing. Thursday was very exciting because Thursday was Prodigy, and I got to interview Amanda Gaines. We also had the solo prelim no semifinals going on Thursday. So Thursday was really jam packed with a lot of things going on. If you haven't yet, go and watch my interview with Amanda Gaines. It was quick. I had 30 minutes. I saw she was going to be at Prodigy, so I was like, "Amanda, can we please do an episode together?" She was like, "Absolutely." Limited on time because she had a team that she choreographed over at UDA. So we were limited on time. I was like, 30 minutes, I could take it. We can do it. And I hope you guys enjoyed that interview. It was quick. I feel like I was like, listen, we're no surface level. Zero surface level, sitting down, we're getting into it. She's like, okay, let's do it. So, very fun episode. I was glad that I was able to like sit down and actually ask some of these questions that I see going on like on TikTok and on social media, and just be able to go to the source and get a lot of those answers. And I was actually really pleasantly surprised. Like, I really did believe that a judge had commented on Matthew's headpiece. Like, I read so many comments that I was like, okay, I believe it. And then it was completely false. So, anyways, don't believe everything you see online. Prodigy was really fun. I got to see Jesse from Raging Jazz, Maya from Oregon Ducks were there. Who else was there? Oh, Joyce from UCF was there. A lot of fun people that I haven't seen in quite a while. So it was fun being able to see them, congratulate them on their season, or best wishes on season that's coming up, because we have College Classic literally right around the corner. But Prodigy was really fun because, okay, so it was split up into two sessions. You had the morning group and then you had the evening group. I was able to watch like the beginning of both. I watched the beginning of the morning group and the beginning of the evening group. And the talent that was there was quite insane. Okay, there was this one girl. I couldn't get her name. I didn't get any details about her, but she did this crazy trick. She did this round off. It was in this improv. I really thought she was gonna break her neck. She did this round off, and then she went up like she was gonna do a really tall layout, um, but then 180'd midair, like at the peak, fell down and like forward rolled out of it. It was quite insane. I thought I was gonna have to run and try and save her. I was like, oh shoot. And then she landed, and I was like, oh, okay, go off, queen. It was quite insane. The talent that was there was, yeah, insane. The next generation of college dancers, it's, I don't even want to talk about it. I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready for it. In between Prodigy's session A or session AM and session PM, session AM and session PM, we were able to do some rankings filming. If you've been tuned into just anything Dance Team Union, you definitely have been seeing some of the ranking stuff that's been going on, hosted by Hannah Stutz. So you've seen how throughout the season, like I think I did three leading up to nationals. I think I did 3 segments with Hannah where we just kind of talked about a lot of the stuff that was going on at DTU, things that we're seeing at regionals, things that we're seeing in the rankings, just different things going on. Now, very transparently, all of that stuff that we're talking about is scripted. Okay, that's not stuff that me and Hannah had to prepare beforehand. Like, we were given the script of what we want to talk about. If we want to switch things around, go ahead and switch things around. And I was okay with that. It was fine. I was able to like just switch things around, change my language a little bit more. But all the teams were like the ones that I usually talk about on my podcast. So it was go figure that I would still talk about those teams. But it was fun because everything that we did at nationals was not scripted. So everything that we were talking about during the rankings at nationals was everything that we were experiencing in person, front hand. And it was really fun because I've been now like really deep into the DTU ecosystem, meaning just like teams, for the past year. Like, I've been really studying teams, studying history, studying trends, different things that are going on in the industry. And so I have a little bit more knowledge, I would say, than most people if they're just entering in the DTU ecosystem. So this was Hannah's first year, like actually being integrated in DTU. She started with the ranking stuff, but remember, a lot of that stuff was scripted. So it's not things that she was seeing firsthand because she wasn't going to events like I was. And then things that I was saying were things that I was also experiencing. This was way different. Like, we were going to different arenas. Like, she would go to B, I would go to A. We would watch, we would gather information, get the teams that we want to talk about, bring it back to each other, get our plans ready, and then go live. Now, we weren't filming beforehand. Everything that we did, other than I think Thursday, we did live, which was so much fun. I was very nervous. Actually, before I continue, let's insert in a clip. I have a clip of our live.
0.01 to 0.001 difference. Like, it could be as small as like a head this way or a foot that way. Y'all.
It's crazy, but I'm happy you brought that up because
Yes.
we have some crazy stories actually from today.
Yes,
Okay, first
yes,
one I want to
yes.
talk about, we have Kylie C. She's from St. Brendan. Okay, check
Okay.
this out. She was the 2024 Junior Solo Champion, 2025 Junior Solo Champion,
Double snaps.
and this year, 2026, she is competing in Senior Solo, and she
Wow.
already advanced to the semifinals. So
That is
I'm excited to see where
incredible.
Kylie ends up in the weekend, but
Yes.
this is another one that I actually like. This is
Yes.
Isabella C. She's from Miami Arts.
Okay.
2023, she was the Youth Solo Champion.
Okay.
Now, 2024, Kylie C., the one I just talked to you about, beat her out for that one spot.
Okay.
She was the runner-up.
Okay.
This also happened in 2025.
Okay.
And
so,
we're going back at it in 2026.
So we got a little head-to-head competition
It's a
here.
little head-to-head competition, but remember, like, the senior division is juniors and seniors.
Wow.
There are 100 plus coming for that top spot.
Oh yeah.
Dance Team Supply is a proud sponsor of the No Counts Given podcast. We exist to make training clearer, cleaner, and way more intentional for dancers and coaches. From technique tools to team essentials, we've got what you need to train smarter and show up stronger. Oh, and yes, we are the home of the viral Sharpen Up movement bands. From practice to performance, we've got it. Visit us online at danceteamsupply.com. The Rocky Mountain Pop-Up Summit is back for year 2. Join us March 1st, 2026 at Cherokee Trail High School in Aurora, Colorado for a one-day recruiting experience with real impact. Dancers of classes 2026 to 2029 will connect with college coaches, practice audition skills, and receive meaningful feedback. Recruiters attend at no cost. Parents and coaches gain insight to support their dancer. Add the Golden Hour VIP experience and a free Sharpen Up Movement Band training class. Rocky Mountain Pop-Up Summit, where preparation meets opportunity. Okay, yeah, so very fun. We also had Taylor and Casey join us. Taylor, who she is the backstage interviewer. So when you see someone giving a backstage interview, that's Taylor. She's like all in the backstage. She started this last year, was her first year, I believe she told me. And I got to see it live. This is when because last year I didn't even say this in the video, but I went to finals last year, DTU Nationals in February. And I got to see some of those live backstage interviews. I didn't know that was the first year that they did that, so that was pretty cool. And then College Classic, I got to see it again. Taylor gave those backstage interviews. And then this year at Nationals, Taylor was giving those backstage interviews, but also Casey joined. So it was Casey's first time at DTU Nationals as well, too. So it was really fun. I didn't know that me and Taylor, it was our first year last year with each other. That was crazy. And then Casey and Hannah, it was their first year at nationals, and just the energy and the not environment, just the energy and how smooth the conversation was able to flow between the four of us was it was so much fun. So we had times where it would be like just me and Hannah, and we would be talking about all things DTU. And then we would have Taylor and Casey join us, and they would talk about like the backstage emotions that were tied in to the event as well. So a lot of that was really cool as well too. We got to hear many different perspectives, and I thought that was really cool. But the one irk I have one irk, and I'm going to tell this to my DTU people. I wish that I wish that it played throughout the arena because this was only happening on the live broadcast. You had to be on the live broadcast to actually see what we were talking about. I wish that it played at the arena because, to be honest with you, unless you're watching it on the live broadcast, I don't think a lot of people even realized that we're there, that we were doing it. I do want to say, because our media guy, which I'm going to talk about later, told us that we got like history breaking DTU live stream numbers this year. So that was very exciting. Okay, let's move on. One of the things that I have been really looking forward to this DTU Nationals is the No Counts Given merch. This is something that DTU completely handled for me. Listen, if it was me handling the merch, you better wait 3 to 4 business months to get that merch. Don't count on me to do that. So in the process of making merch, I came up with just some simple designs. One simple design, actually. And I was like, hey, can we put this on a shirt? Can we do it for merch? And they were like, yeah. And then we're like, okay, let's do a basic tee. So I'm going to grab them because I want to show you guys the No Counts Given merch, even though you've probably already seen it on my social media. Okay, first we have this is just the basic white tee. Now, I'm going to be very honest. I don't like white tees on myself. I'm a little bit more darker complexion, and I feel like white tees don't look good on me, but I put this on, and I felt like I looked so good. So you will too. Here is the No Counts Given. It's just white, basic tee. We have the big logo on the front. You get all of the color with the glitches, all of that fun stuff. And then on the back, it is the Powered by Dance Team Union. Yeah, this sold out, you guys. Sold out on Sunday. Okay, wait, we have one more. We have one more. This is the one that I designed, and I love this one. Okay, we have the small logo on the front. Oh my gosh, there's lint and my cat hairs on it. 1 second. Okay, I think that's better. You guys will probably meet my cats one day. They're not allowed in the studio. But here is No Counts Given. We have my the small logo on the front. It's black and white. The color is dark gray, by the way. I don't know if you could tell, but it's like a dark gray. It's not black. And then we have our tagline. We have our tag on the back: real talk, real talent, all things dance. I know it's wrinkly. It's just been sitting in the garage. Okay, so for merch this time around, I really just wanted to do something basic, to be quite honest with you guys. I was like, I don't think many people are going to buy it. I don't think we need to go crazy with any crazy designs. I think just basic, no counts given t-shirts, just branding would be fun. Little did I know, you guys sold out both of those shirts, the white and the gray. I couldn't even grab anymore for my family. Which is fine. I got the whites for my family. They're gonna have to wait on the grays. But I just feel so thankful. We're not gonna get emotional because I already had my moment after nationals. But I just feel very thankful that there's so many people out there that would support No Counts Given and support myself and the journey that we're on and the things that I believe in and we believe in. And it means the absolute world to me. So thank you, everyone. Okay, let's move on. Actually, no, I lied. I have a funny story to talk about the merch. Okay, so I was trying to grab some of the merch beforehand, but I couldn't get my hands on it because they were still unpacking everything, and I'm not going to be a brat and be like, "Go get my merch," because that's not who I am. So I was like, "I'll wait. I'll wait till they put it out, and I'll get mine like a normal human being." But they finally put it out. I grabbed the gray one because if you were at nationals, you probably know we had the gray ones in Arena B, and then we had the white ones in Arena A for Friday and Saturday. And I went to Arena B. I grabbed the gray one. I was just getting one for myself so I could wear throughout the weekend. And then the people there knew me, so they're like, "Oh yeah, here you go, take it." And then I went to Arena A to grab the white one. They were just laying them out. So I lifted it up and I was like, oh my gosh, can you please help me grab? Because they were just stacked on top of each other. All the smalls, all the mediums. It was like just a huge stack of white shirts. I was like, I need a large. So they helped me grab it. The lady, sweetest lady there, she started folding it and she took it to the register. And I was like, oh, okay. If I just to avoid the awkwardness, I will pay for this right now, just to avoid the awkwardness. And I had my DTU badge on me, luckily, and she was like, okay. She's like, oh, wait, are you going to pay for this or are you taking it? And I was like, I planned to take it. And she's like, oh, okay, that's fine. It was one of the boys that was working there. He came up to me. He was like, oh, you're the guy for the shirt. And then she's like, oh, and then it connected. She gave it to me. But I thought it was funny that I was about to just buy my own merch, which I totally would have, but still, whatever. Anyways, moving on. Okay, one thing I found very interesting this DTU Nationals was and I'm not just talking about a handful, okay? Like, I'm talking about the influx of coaches that come from coaches that, okay, how can I politely say this? Coaches that attend other major nationals getting tours of DTU nationals and watching events or watching divisions, watching categories. And I didn't bother any of them and I didn't ask any questions. I didn't want to be pushy. I'm also not going to say who I saw there. But I did run into one person that was there. Yeah, don't go there, Kyle. Nope, we're not going to do it. Okay. But yeah, I find it interesting because listen, this is the first major year that there has been like major changes in dance team nationals world. So I know that there's going to be a lot of people that love them, there's going to be a lot of people that hate them, and there's going to be people that are going to be switching nationals and trying to find what works best for them, and that's totally fine. There's nothing absolutely wrong with that. But I did find it interesting the coaches that I saw getting tours, and if they're considering on switching over, it's going to be quite major if you ask me. One irk I do have to say, which I had, and I think if you ask me, it was solved very professionally and it was handled very well. But on Sunday, which is finals, I think this was Arena B I was sitting in and I noticed, but there were a few music issues, like music skipping, music completely cutting off. I saw it with one team, and the team handled it very professionally, like very well. They kept going. They didn't miss a beat. They ended up performing again. Now, typically, I would have to reread the rules, but typically, if you're re-performing again, I would imagine that your judging is going to start at the time that your music cut off. So that's when your actual judging would start. You would still do the routine full out from the beginning till the end, obviously, but the judging would start where the music cut off. I could be wrong, but in fairness, that's how I would imagine it being, but I could be wrong. However, team that, and we're going to talk about this is going to be in my palm coverage episode, but that team actually went on to finish in second place, and I believe it was medium palm. It could have been small, but I'm pretty sure it was medium palm. But then later at the battle on Sunday night, we saw it happen again with GVSU. So definitely something that I'm going to be hoping DTU grasps on next season at Nationals. Like, we shouldn't be having music issues at our Nationals event. Handled very well, obviously. Teams got to re-perform the routine. Obviously with the music cutting out, that's not going to influence a judge's decision on how they're scoring you. So shout out to that team that ended up getting second place. Yeah, I have to say when it was GVSU, I was a little heartbroken for them because I love this Kendrick routine that they have, and they got to perform it at the battle for the high school and all-star teams. They were like, maybe had 45 seconds left in the routine and the music started cutting off, and then they were confused. They didn't it was a little bit of a mess for them. However, I will say, because I've been in a position where I've worked an event all day long, because these athletes are also helping out at the event as well too. and then have to perform full out for a crowd at the end of the day. And it is very difficult. So I would imagine if GVSU wanted to go again, they probably would have found time to let them go again. But at that point, it's like, no, I'm clocking out. But one thing I want to say is really cool that I appreciate is that for the College Classic, teams that win the battle at the College Classic get invited to go to DTU Nationals for the All-Star and high school teams and perform their battle routine for those athletes. I find that really cool. They fly them out to all expenses paid to DTU Nationals. They help out at the event and they get to perform at the battle for all of these athletes. And I find that to be very special and rewarding. I think that little details like that, I feel like really show the care that DTU puts into their event. Okay, I'm almost done here. BT dubs. We're going to get there. Don't worry. Some discourse that I see online that tends to quite bug me, if I'm being real, is this expectation of prestige. Like what prestige means to a nationals event. And in fact, someone commented on one of my videos yesterday and was like, why are there so many nationals? And I couldn't agree anymore. Not so much in the high school world, but if you look at like the all-star dance world, everything is a nationals. Everything is a nationals. Even if I'm competing against myself, it's a nationals. Like, and I agree. So when it comes to the all-star world, I'm like, yeah, why is everything a nationals? When it comes to high school, I don't think we have that many nationals per se. But there's this conversation that goes around of like what dictates prestige and is DTU really less competitive? I want to put in my 2 cents. I think what dictates an event as prestige is not the teams that attend. Okay, I'm gonna use the heavy hitters. Okay, Minnesota, Ohio, and LSU right now because those teams go to UDA and all eyes are at UDA. People call it the most prestige. Some people also like to call it the prestige because it's where you have to actually be an athletic team to go and compete, which is not true, but that's a conversation some people are not ready for. But if those three teams were to pack up their bags and say, we're going to Dance Team Union, would now people look at DTU and be like, wow, that's the prestigious competition? Now, to be very clear, in my eyes, what dictates a prestigious competition is one, how the competition is being ran, two, who is judging the competition, three, how are these competitions recovering from any mistakes that are happening throughout the event? Are these mistakes continuously happening year after year after year? Because now if it's year 4 and we're still getting scores leaked, how are you prestige? That's my argument. I know I got I got a little hot-headed there, but you guys watched my UDA files video. You guys get where I'm coming from. So when a lot of people have this conversation of UDA versus DTU versus NDA and lead towards one because it's more competitive and more prestigious, I have to just scratch my head. How one thing I greatly appreciate about DTU is how they put together their small, medium, and large divisions. Okay. They're waiting until registration. Now, don't quote me on this because I'm just talking from the top of my head, but they're waiting on registration to hit a specific point. So let's say December, we're going to see where registration's at, and we're going to start dividing teams into their respective size category or size divisions based off our registration. So then we can make sure that there's equal competition amongst every division, and you truly see that in their divisions. When I look at the schedule, I see just about almost like small varsity, medium varsity, large varsity POM has quite a bit of these same size divisions, right? And I want to say they range between like 27 and 33 teams or something like that. Like they were huge divisions. Again, watch my coverage videos, which we're going to talk about in a little bit to get all the breakdown on all of the things. However, there's other competitions which then are adding novice divisions, intermediate divisions. They have small, medium, large in every single division, no matter if there's only 3 teams in small varsity kick. So When I look at it, I think, how is that prestige if we're just adding as many divisions as we can to get as many winners as we can? Where I also scratch my head is these same people that are crying about it being competitive are the ones crying that they need a medium division as well. When I talk to people at DTU, I find it to be very much so we're not going to go in the direction of intermediate probably ever. And I truly hope it stays that way. If you know me, I have a big irk of the intermediate division. I truly do believe in if you're going to go and compete, go and compete. Don't try and compete easy. Just go and compete. If you get last place, who cares? Get last place for a couple years, then move up a few rankings, then move up a few rankings. You got to work your way to the top. Don't find an easy way out. And I find that to be what the intermediate division is. And that's my irk on it. Okay, let's talk about coverage episodes because I have some coverage coming up where I'm going to talk about all things. Oh, sorry. I was looking at a DM. Okay. And I'm going to pop it on the screen. So, February 19th, that is this Thursday, I am talking all things palm and kick coverage. Listen, you guys know I'm a palm junkie, so this is going to be a fun episode to get into. February 24th, next Tuesday, we are going to talk about hip hop and spirit showdown. And then on Thursday, right after February 26th, we're going to talk about jazz and the lyrical division. March 3rd, we're going to talk about the battle coverage. Now, I know there are so many of you that were asking me, Kyle, what about team performance? What about military? I haven't forgotten about y'all. Trust me. I haven't forgotten about you guys, okay? I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast episode. There were so many thank yous that I knew I had to give out. I wrote them down somewhere and I didn't execute them. So I will probably have to give them at a separate time. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into today's podcast episode. I appreciate you guys so much. There is so much fun coverage coming towards DTU Nationals, palm, kick, military, team performance, hip hop, spirit showdown, lyrical, jazz, all of the things. I'm talking about it. Tune in, subscribe, hit your notification buttons, and I will see you on Thursday for our palm and kick coverage video. Bye.